can't deny the Kench and the Thresh, right? So I actually like taking the Nautilus for the bottom lane here for Gen.G, and then just saying, well, if you're going to flex the Lulu into the solo lane, then that's totally fine with us.
Just meta approved and pretty simple to gather that tempo advantage, and then Ruler's Ezreal exists in this game. On the side of DRX, they've mixed it up a little bit, you know, they've got the hyper carry on the bottom side, they have all of the protection available for Bao in the Lulu and the Tahm Kench.
I do appreciate the...
Pyoshik's gone in. Blitz going to get knocked up as the Zap is going to connect as well. He's been very greedy with the flash eventually. Does use it.
He is a collie, very mobile, very easy to get out of slippy situations.
All right, Rascal just getting on back there as he's underneath the turret. King in flashes. So Pyoshik now moving up towards this Tri-Brush. Spotted, of course. And there's another paranoia. Crescent Guard going to be used, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. First blood going over to Cleared. 1,000 gold is the lead, just the result of that first blood and the extra bit of map control.
Long wraparound here from Pyoshik too, and he's going to find that this part of the jungle is in fact empty, and he's going to look for more here. They did not see him, there's no vision.
Yep, ulti back available, wind becomes lightning, going to stab the Ezreal, but he has the arcane shift. There's the flash on forward, as Life with the dredge line, Super Mega Death Rocket will be enough for BDD. He's down here, Crescent Guard has been picked up by the Silas, but Solka joins as well, and BDD has to flash away. Ruler without the damage to augment it, and Rascal is just chilling on the top side of the map with Shelly smacking down structures.
He actually is going to get this turret, I think.
It might have been
I think he could have actually canceled
that.
Yeah, I think he could have canceled that teleport. He got a little bit scared there.
Collapse is coming through here. BDD does have the perfect execution available as the dredge line is going to connect. There's another paranoia from Rascal. Gets into the back line, but the knockups are pretty good here. Solka coming on forward. Rascal going to be taken down first as BDD gets over the wall, but he does not want to be there. And the perfect execution again from Solka is going to come through. Becca maybe a little bit over-ambitious, but isn't going to find the Tongue Lash. And Gen.G, they lose their solo lanes, and they have to now lose the Drake as well. DRX really starting to take control.
Yeah, DRX, I think, pretty significantly ahead in this game right now. When you consider what their scaling is going to do, the fact that their Akali is 1-0-1. And
I don't know, I just feel like the answer's just pretty good as Pyoshik in once again. And Shelly can get a bit of value here, as you can see. Pyoshik pretty comfortable just taking damage. That Gore Drinker, slight buff to the amount of health that you are going to get back, but you can see still actually pretty durable just in his own right.
You could see the observers just highlighting there for a second. I think that zoom in was supposed to show. Hold that thought.
Yeah, it's going to siege down this turret, and it looks like Gen.G is going to give it up.
I think the observers are trying to highlight that DRX are in fact at their strongest when they're grouped as 5. And that's,
Well, Solka almost went aggressive there. As you can see, it looks like that Soul Point is just going to be free on the side of DRX. Solka now probably knows that he's in a bit of trouble, but he's able to get the Shroud down. We'll see whether he's actually going to be able to keep himself alive, and the answer is absolutely yes.
So all of that time, all of the resources spent here for Gen.G, what we have been seeing in reality against this comp that's super aggressive. Oh, hold that thought. Here we go. We're going to see it again.
They're going to engage right on top of
exactly
this. Down. Yep, the Crescent Guard comes through yet again, but he's 2 by himself. The rest of DRX not there. You mentioned the fact that they really want to be grouping to try and stop this from happening.
But
now they've lost one of the biggest tools, and this is where things really can fall apart.
Yeah.
It looks like Cloud Soul is going to be denied.
What I was going to say is, like, they're using the Jin Zhao and the Wild Growth defensively to then engage after the engage has come on top of them. In this case, though, he was alone. He did get Wild Growth, but the rest of DRX was not there to follow up. Now Gen.G have to funnel through this choke. They have no vision whatsoever, and now this is going to be DRX's fight to force. There's no paranoia. They don't have to worry about that.
After Shot Barrage is going to spot that the Baron has been started here.
Wins the turn. Solka with the flank.
Oh yeah, looking for this flank play. I believe he is going to be spotted, but no, actually, he's going to move himself back around. Starts the fight as BDD dives on in as well, and the first kill is going to go over to the Jinx. Now Pyoshik picks exactly the right time this time as BDD gets out. He's got a heck of a lot of dashes and a flash, but Pyoshik's got an audacious charge. And BDD, does he have the Kingslayer back up? It's not going to matter. Bao grabs another one.
The audacity from Pyoshik. That fight was so beautiful.
Yeah, and they should be able to take the Baron off the back of this as well.
They will
unless Click can do something crazy.
There's no way you can stop this. They're going to have to clear these wards out, but I mean, they're going to try something here. Look at where Solka is right now. Crossing this gap is going to be so hard. Ruler is like, he's walking the tightrope.
Yeah. Not a lot of mana left as Kingen down relatively low. Gyoshik wants to close the gap. They are going to engage onto Clid, who can run really fast. Depth charge. It's already utilized. Life not actually here, so wasn't actually able to do it. And that's the Ezreal just dove on. And a little bit late is Rascal there with the Paranoia. This is a lot of pressure now on Gen.G. Rascal a little bit too far away as Paranoia is available, but not in range right now, as here's the turn. In goes the Crescent Guard. No way Life is going to do any damage, as it eventually does wear off. Gyoshik goes golden, though he bought so much time, but no kills just yet. In goes the dive as BDD goes golden. Ruler is going to get turned on, though. Sulka says absolutely not. There's no re-engage, and BDD unfortunately gets baited in. True Shot Barrage doing a fair bit of damage there as Kingen down quite low, Bow at about half health. But DRX, they're all still up and alive, and all of the pieces to their puzzle are just so good when they're together.
Bao is going to do so much damage to this Baron, it just goes down so quickly. Gen.G have to fight for this, but they don't have the tools to engage.
Yeah, this is so difficult. Clid does have the Smite available, but can he even get into the pit? He doesn't even have Smite.
Wild Growth back up for King, and just teleports in.
All of his health bar there as well. Like you were mentioning, the teleport going to bring him right into the pit. And there's the engage on the Rule. They know exactly which one they want to be taking down, as the Nautilus is going to be taken out. And the heal utilized from Ruler, but he gets exhausted, he gets licked, and Gyoshik's looking for him. Super Mega Death Rocket, the audacious charge just for the last hit. And finally, at the third time of starting it, the Baron is going to be taken down.
It was such a great fight for DRX. They're really playing the kind of game that terrifies you, right? It's a game that they've come up with this really soft counter, actually, to the Nocturne pick, right? It's the Lulu
of the 5-man unit. Here is the engage. In goes Rascal, finds himself his stopwatch as Gyoshik. Look at him. He's buying space from the entire team, and Gen.G are just melting because Bao is untouched. Gets devoured. He's still at half health as BDD once again. Stopwatches, Zonya's in the back line. But we've seen this so many times, it's just not enough to actually take down a carry. This is the happiest Jinx that I've seen in such a long time.
Oh, this is just looking like it's the beginning of the end here.
Yep, Gyoshik in once again. He's going to go down to his GA, so that might have been a little bit overly aggressive, as now the Jinx walking away. That fear lasts for a really long time, but eventually he gets excited. He gets onto these Nexus turrets, and if I was Bao, I'd be excited as well. As, oh my god, the crits are really starting to hurt as the Zap gets soaked by the spell shield, but the Nexus isn't going to be so lucky as Bao is still alive, gets the Wild Growth right at the end, and the Nexus.
Gen.G was about the defense that you can have against this comp that likes to collapse. You think about these melees that go in when Paranoia is hit. You've got the Udyr for the CC, you've got BDD who wants to face plant in that fight, you've got a Nocturne and a Nautilus. They all want to go straight in, and that's exactly why Gyoshik walks in the front, eats the Wild Growth, and absorbs all of it. It was really, really nice to see. It wasn't about Wild. Gyoshik will fall off a little bit on the Gen.G, but if you can play another defensive game, keep that carry safe.
Yeah.
Certainly a strong composition, just like we've already seen. As, okay, Life. You can take away his Bard, but, however,
he still has
his Braum.
Yes, the Braum. You know, time and time again, it's going to be more based on the lethality, hitting really hard in that mid-game, but you will still have that layer of safety. You will now be able to poke far more effectively. So theoretically a 2v2, but Rascal, he's got the Paranoia, but doesn't have the inside track, as Kingen with a fantastic Narbar. Going to try and deny this. Clid coming on in. He's booking it forward. Wind becomes lightning. That is going to be the secure for Clid, but can he keep himself alive? The flash out is there, but Gyoshik's going to be taken down for first blood, and now there's 3 members of Gen.G in the area. BDD over the wall just beautifully, as the wallop ain't going to be enough. It's a bit of a wraparound.
It's like Becca couldn't even believe it. Like, he walked over.
All right, in goes the Paranoia immediately. Not messing around, flashing straight away, but it ain't going to be enough. Pop goes the Gnar, and Gyoshik says, nah, I ain't going to be able to get in there, my friend. I'm sorry. 3-0 in favor of Gen.G.
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, this is the consolation that DRX get after that exchange. Foul.
Yeah, and you can see Pioshik over the wall. Rascal has been discovered. BDD's just going to get out of there as the teleport is going to come in. Rascal flashes, but I don't think he's... Oh my goodness! Very, very close. But Pioshik, no cigar this time around. Ruler's going to have to flash Shockwave onto two. That one was better, Solka. And both of them get mopped up. The bottom lane just dies in seconds.
And
DRX are on the board. BDD on the board now. Life goes golden. But now could be out of position. Hail of Arrows and Sulfur are going to be enough here as there's the Nara into the wall. Kingen wasting no time as the ult comes down. Bow flashes immediately. The tongue's not quite long enough there from Becca. He needed to get that evolution to Licky, I think, at that point. As Gen.G, they get the teleport in. They're now underneath the turret. They've got Shirley here to back them up. And if they don't have their big grizzly bear, now Pioshik looking for an opportunity here potentially on the top side of the map. There's Bow down the Halfeld. There's Devour available, but maybe waited a little bit too long as the Grey Health is going to be there immediately. As he comes out of the belly, it is going to be a dead Varus, and Shockwave lands onto two, but doesn't really do too much. Pioshik now just trying to be the hero. BDD going to be taken down. Sulker is over the wall, but Pioshik is real dead this stage of the game as Kingen throws a rock, but he doesn't really have much more in the tank. And Gen.G are looking to just start off this Baron in the faces. Ruler finds a true shot barrage on some air, and BDD is just diving into a backline once again. Goes golden this time, Paranoia into the backline, and there is no Orianna to speak of for this fight. BDD still fighting this one out, and he is looking to be able to escape as well as Bow. Survives for a lot longer than I was expecting in a lot of these fights, however, still not going to survive for long enough. 3 dead on the side of DRX, Kingen and Becca. Not a lot that they can offer to this one, and it's going to be the third Drake for Gen.G.
Nobody can touch him. Meanwhile,
yeah, in the meantime, BDD is just going to solo kill Kingen there on the top side of the map. Very nicely done. BDD's wallet really starting to amass some coinage.
Could have seen a completely different depth than a DRX.
All right, in the meantime, Rascal is going to be spell shielding quite beautifully the Shockwave here on the bottom side of True Shot Barrage says goodbye.
The Varus isn't going to scale to a better place than this, sadly. Not with the item build he's chosen, which is the best and most viable build. As we're going to watch how Kingen died during the replay.
Oh, no.
That's a whoopsie.
It was the mind game issue.
Yeah, he thought he was going to jump back in.
Yep, trying to read BDD and his timing, and unfortunately just pressed the button.
Yeah.
Feels bad. I mean, DRX now just moving towards their bottom side jungle. BDD's here. There's the Paranoia. Wanting to put them out of their misery by the looks of things here as Rascal going down relatively low. Pioshik actually keeping himself alive, but the Varus not going to be so lucky. A 1-for-1 for now, but BDD's managed to pick up a second. Becker in trouble. The flash out of the way of the Shuriken backflip, and that could have definitely been the start of a potential pentakill, but there is the Arcane Shift over the wall. Ruler. Range isn't necessarily fantastic.
Their Siege is the Siege minions and the 11,000 gold lead.
Kingen, as a bit of a whoopsie, is relatively tanky as the Shockwave is going to come forward. That is the Varus dead, though. They're underneath a few turrets here at the same time as the Paranoia was held onto for a beautiful amount of time. The ultimate was running, so unfortunately didn't do a lot of damage. But still, Rascal's just playing with his food at this stage, and the 2 Nexus turrets are all that stand between Gen.G and victory in game number 2, outside of, I guess, the Master Chef Tom Kench, but I don't think he's going to be able to stop this. Nexus now going to be taking the damage, and Gen.G even things up. You could feel the anger, you could feel how much so far this year, but certainly feeling a lot better right now, and BDD is certainly showing how strong she is.
I mean, he turned around that crazy skirmish when Clid invaded actually around blue.
Well, let's see whether it's going to be
later,
Sinzao top lane.
How much late game can we look for here? We got the Azir coming in as well.
All of it. It's a lot of magic damage here as far as the top side of the map is concerned, but Jinx should be able to make up for it in the later stages. Gen.G certainly with the no rush 20 style of composition, as Sulka thinking about going for, you know, what is considered often a bit of a hard counter in the Vel'Koz into the Azir, but I love Lucian so much more because now not only do you have the Ezreal that can be augmented by the Cat, but if they manage to lock him down, then interesting comp from DRX though. They do have a lot of scaling into the late game themselves with their sort of double 80 carry composition that is then augmented by double enchanters as well, but we've seen this style of draft attempted before, and sometimes it can just fall flat on its face. Soccer's still sticking around, doesn't want to give this one up. As
like
you were
another
talking
comment.
about, the Comet issue. It is a big one. Soccer has some rocks being strewn
Level
around
6
with
timing.
Soul is, BDD not going to flash forward or anything like that, but Solka really getting pushed around here in this lane. There's still options.
Life says, please don't back. But it's too late to back. They're still going to look for something here.
King is relatively far up. Does have flash available and wild growth, so it's deceptively durable.
Yeah, he's also 2 levels up on Clid, and Life is...
There's the flash, though, and the hook is going to be so easy.
Man.
All right, yep. The stunned Yumi.
Yeah.
And then it gets channeled out of the pike, as now, thankfully, we're safe from this conversation as the needlework comes through. King in with the wild growth, trying to dodge the last couple of bolts, and does make it far enough towards his inner turret. Pyoshik comes round as well. True Shot Barrage connects onto Rascal. There's the bear slap hook. Happens once again. Life and Clid together playing really beautifully here as Crescent Guard was okay.
Watch them just outclass mechanically DRX in 2 and 3.
Oh, there it is. Catches him in the flash. The playback as well. Life is a beast right here. However, the Azir is still going to fall. It's worth it.
I mean, this is just a highlight reel for Gen.G, right?
That's 2 for 1 because Pyoshik was still dead. Sorry.
It's a symptom of the bigger problem here, and
it might have just been an adaptation based on where they are in the game.
I think that's what it is.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Rascal's getting caught.
He's in a bit of trouble here as he does throw down some circles, but hula hoops ain't going to save you here. The Gwen is going to fall. So Pyoshik on the board now, couple of kills. Sorry, 1.
Like question mark pings here onto Pyoshik. Like, where are you at, man? That was for DRX.
Yeah, he's certainly on walkabout. Teleport is going to come forward here as Rascal wants to get some revenge. The Crescent Guard comes in, but he's still going to get stunned. The hook is going to connect, and that's exactly the target he's looking for. Pyoshik ain't feeling so audacious now as Rascal fighting against 3 people, or 2.5, I guess.
You could see the frustration in some of these plays from DRX. They're desperate to make that bot duo push something, and there were literally DRX pings, question mark pings from his own teammates on top of him, and I don't think that was saying we don't know.
As the game continues. Bao close to half health after 1 zap, I believe, or was that just an auto attack? It might have just been, as there's the Emperor's Divide. BDD in a bit of trouble here, good knock up, but there is of course a stopwatch available. Solka gets over the wall, Pyoshik in trouble. The final chapter, it doesn't even seem to matter here as Gen.G are just immortal at this stage of the game. The bear slap onto Kingin, and he just gets phoenixed to death. Bao now running for the hills, and this is going to be all she wrote on this one. Gen.G, they were the expected victors in this series after game 1. I think there was a bit of doubt in some people's minds as there it is, the Technicolor Hula Hoop coming out to celebrate the end of this game and the match 1 victory for Gen.G here. DRX made them work for it, but certainly coming back when it counted on the side of Gen.G as the Nexus will finally be taken down here just before midnight.
Yep.
Thursday night.
You can see Solka puts his head in his hands.
And also, Gen.G has no worries after that one. Yes, things started off a little bit rocky, but 12,000 gold lead at 25 minutes into the game.
Thank you very much, guys. And it was not an easy series, but Gen.G was able to secure a very valuable victory for their first match of the split. Congratulations, BDD. Today, we had a very long series, I think this was pretty much meaningful for you guys, and at the same time left a little bit to be desired, right? I think last time as well we lost the first game in the opening match, so after losing game number 1 we were recalling those memories, but I feel good that we were able to secure the win in the end. Game 1, the Lulu Xin Zhao comp was surprising everyone, and then we also saw Yumi as real comp as well. Was that something you guys expected? This is the beginning of the new season, and there were so many changes, so it was really hard for us to kind of expect and predict those new comps. Game number 2, Gen.G actually became more aggressive and proactive. Was that something that you guys discussed after the defeat? After game number 1, yeah, I think we were falling behind all throughout the game, so we were discussing mostly about the draft and also in-game plays. Especially not only the Lulu, but also Akali was a very intimidating pick for sure. In game number 2, we were very surprised to see Gen.G actually willingly choose the red side for the first time in the summer split. What kind of advantage do you get from the red side? There are so many strong champions currently, so you get to have counter picks in lane. So we decided to take red side. And that was the beginning of Gen.G's comeback in this series. And you were the one playing Akali in game number 2, and Akali was able to put up a show as Akali is having a huge success currently in the summer split. As you guys can see in the LCK games, I think Akali is really good. Yeah, even before the interview, you actually told me Akali is too OP, so can you tell us about it? Well, she has a decent laning phase, and in the later phase, she can actually dominate and have full control of the game. However, in game number 3, you played Azir with Comet. So do you think Azir is a viable pick in this meta as well? There are a lot of strong kind of melee champions, so but we were able to ban out some of the strong champions during the ban phase, so Azir was also available. Then, would you like to play Azir when all these OP champions are left open? Nope, I'm gonna get wrecked. In addition to that, Gen.G has been, I'm pretty sure Gen.G was working really hard during the off-season, you know, in order to accomplish the goal. You guys were so close to getting it. We are all working really hard. We are all putting hard effort into it. So I would really appreciate all the love and support from the fans. Now it's the classic and traditional BDD report card time. So how would you like to rate your own performance out of 10? I didn't expect this thing to be continued in this split as well, but if I can end it, if I say I'll give 10 out of 10, I'll just gonna say 10. And this summer split is held offline together with a live audience. Any message over to the fans? Yeah, we've been playing online for a very long time, but we're finally playing offline, so this is a huge motivation for me, and I was super excited about it. And I would really appreciate all the support from you guys. Thank you. Moving on, your next series will be up against Hana Life Esports, and it's gonna be you versus Chovy. We don't know what to happen in that upcoming match, so we will focus on our own preparation. Best of luck in that series, and thank you very much for this interview. And I'm gonna pass it back to our caster after this solo POD interview from BDD after having a comeback victory up against DRX.